Hey guys, Zack here, and this is why you should watch The Midnight Gospel. Okay, so if you don't know what The Midnight Gospel is, it's a show kind of in the vein of Adventure Time. So if you like Adventure Time, you'll probably like this show. But the show is about a guy named Clancy who runs his own podcast called The Midnight Gospel, and he goes around asking his various guests about the nature of certain ethical topics. And that's the last thing that makes sense. So, yeah, the main gimmick of the show is that Clancy goes out into the multiverse using a universe simulator thing that he has. He climbs inside of it. He uses it to target various aspects of the multiverse, which is how his show actually gains a following. It actually goes out across the entire multiverse, and he'll meet with a random person out in one of those multiverses, one of those many universes, and he'll have an ethical chat with him on his podcast before going back to his home universe. So, yeah, this series is mainly about let's see how many outrageous backgrounds and things we can insert into our show while having an ethical conversation about drugs. So, the first episode alone is about drugs and the ethics behind taking them. Like, for example, marijuana, opium, and stuff like that. But while all that is happening, it sounds normal. It sounds like a normal conversation you would have on a podcast about drugs and other ethical stuff like that. But what is actually interesting about the show is that this entire podcast episode happens to happen in the middle of a zombie apocalypse, and the two characters, Clancy and the president of that universe, of the United States in that universe, are just having an ethical back and forth about drugs and the nature of them, while they're trying to just survive a zombie apocalypse, and it's one of the funniest things ever. So, yeah, that's just the first episode. I'm not gonna go into this big in-depth analysis of what the Midnight Gospel is, because it's very hard to try and replicate what they say verbatim, because there's a lot of ethical stuff in there. The episode is mostly about drugs and how it's not so much taking drugs, it's just the circumstances behind why you're taking drugs, as they put it in the episode, I guess. But yeah, the episode is just one of those episodes that's just like, hey, we're gonna talk about this ethical, possibly morally ambiguous stuff, while all this outrageous shit is happening in the background. That's basically what the Midnight Gospel is. It's a bunch of discussions between Clancy and his guest of the week, who go out and talk about various topics, and they go out into the universe, into the universe that person in particular lives in, and just some outrageous shit happens in the background while they're talking about their ethical stuff. So, yeah, it's just a bunch of outrageous visuals that are just playing in the background of an ethical discussion. So, yeah, that's mainly what the Midnight Gospel is. That's the best thing I can say about it. It's just a very simple show, but it just works very well because not only are the visuals very out there and weird, but it's just the juxtaposition of these two things. You've got Clancy talking with his guest of the week, going on and on about about different topics that are about human existentialism and stuff like that. But in the background, you just got this outrageous stuff that's just happening, and that's the whole joke of it. It's just the show is playing it very serious and straightforward, but at the same time, it's just being really goofy and weird. So yeah. But in any case, yeah, The Midnight Gospel. It's an interesting show. The entire first season is on Netflix, so if you want to watch it on Netflix. But yeah, The Midnight Gospel is one of those weird shows that I just think that people should watch, mainly for the ethical stuff, but also for the weird, wacky visuals that they can try and get away with. So yeah, that's one of the things that sold me on the show. It was just that there's this juxtaposition of two things that don't really match. I've said that multiple times now, but there's just not a whole lot to analyze in the show. It's just this juxtaposition of two things that you wouldn't think work together, but they do, and it's very funny in that regard. So yeah, if you guys are thinking about watching The Midnight Gospel after watching this, then yeah, let me know. Are you planning to see The Midnight Gospel, or are you just going to sleep on it? Either way, yeah. If you guys did like this little you should watch, then what did you guys think? Let's get a discussion going in the comment section down below, or over on my Discord server, link in the description. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, be sure to follow me on Facebook and on Twitter in the description below. And also, check out my Patreon in the description below as well. It's only a couple bucks a month. It really helps me out, and you guys get access to a bunch of cool perks that are my way of saying thanks, so be sure to check those out in the description below as well. But in any case, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace!